Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. Over the past few weeks I've been talking about achieving your New Year fitness and weight loss goals and running goals as well. So this week I want to just go back to thinking about the goals in general. So whether it's weight loss, whether it's fitness, running or any other goals that you've set at the start of this year, which seems probably like a long time ago. Keeping it general, I want to talk about where often people go wrong, and especially at this time now where we're sort of 6 weeks into the year and motivation is probably lacking a little bit compared to at the start of the year when everyone was kind of fired up and wanted to lose weight after Christmas, and you just feeling like you needed to go and hit the gym more, and now probably into February it's starting to drop off and you're starting to flag a little bit. So this is often where people go wrong, and this is where people fall down and don't actually achieve their longer term health, fitness and weight loss goals because they don't do this one thing. So that's what I want to try and prevent this week. I want to give you a little reminder to make sure that you do achieve your goals. So the key thing that you need to be doing, and this is doesn't matter what goal you are trying to achieve, whether it's anything to do with fitness or weight loss, or whether it's just a life goal, a work goal, or anything else that you are trying to achieve. The main thing, and it sounds really, really simple, and it kind of is simple, it's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. The thing where people often go wrong, and the thing that I want to encourage you to do, is to be consistent with the actions and the effort that you are putting into achieving those goals, and especially for longer term goals. So if you'd set a short term goal of maybe losing the weight you'd put on over Christmas, or if you'd set a short term goal of going to the gym 3 times a week every week in January, or dry January, or things like that, then obviously those goals will have been achieved or they won't have been achieved. And it's kind of straightforward that for a short term then you could put in some effort and get the results that you actually want. But for those longer term goals, then being consistent is the most important thing that you could do after starting. You've got to start and put in some effort and take some action, have an action plan and make some action points for achieving those goals. But then being consistent is probably one of the hardest things to do, but it is the most important thing that you must do, because you won't achieve your goals. I can 100% guarantee that if you're not consistent with your actions, you will not achieve your goals. You might achieve some results, but you won't achieve the longer term bigger goal that you had in mind, because you'll drop off, or you'll achieve some progress and success, and then you'll probably go back to old habits, and and you won't maintain those results, and then the longer term goal will go out the window. You might even go the opposite way. So that's the message this week, is to be consistent with your actions. And this is why when I take on a new client, if we're thinking about fitness goals or even weight loss goals, I don't try and get them to do too much too soon, because it's really hard that when you're starting off, if you start exercising maybe 2 or 3 times a week, if I gave a client a whole new diet plan to follow, and then also giving them homework to do, and I want them to run this many miles, or I want them to walk, or I want them to do this, that and the other, all the stretches that they need to do, and all the food, and cut out alcohol, and all of these things that obviously will help them, but if I try and get them to do it all at once, how likely is it, you'll know yourself I'm sure, but how likely is it that you're going to keep that up consistently for the next maybe 6 months to 9 months to 12 months, whatever it is you need to do to achieve your goal? Or even for the rest of your life. Like there's no point taking the actions to achieve a short-term goal or a medium or long-term goal and then going back to old habits. You want it to be a lifestyle. So if we can make some small changes and maintain them and be consistent with those actions, then you're going to get to where you want to be, and you're going to be able to maintain it longer term, and it just becomes natural habits for you. So then it doesn't feel like hard work at all. But the main thing is that whatever you started in January or since the start of this year, those points that we've talked about in order to achieve your specific goals, keeping going with those. So if you started running once a week or twice a week, or however many times you started running, then you need to do that consistently every week in order to maintain or progress with your goals. That's why, again, I wouldn't encourage someone to start running sort of 5-6 times a week, because unless you are well trained and really into your running, like someone who's been running for a long time. I run 6 times a week, but that's because I've been running for half my life. So yeah, I can do it, and I am consistent with that. But if I started like for the next couple of weeks running 6 times a week, but then drop down to 2 or 3 times a week after that, then I'm not going to maintain my progress, because I'm not being consistent with my actions, if that makes sense. So whatever level you're at, you need to be consistent, and that's what I want to really stress. It's where a lot of people go wrong with their goals, not being consistent. You may start and then actually not continue, and we see that a lot with the gyms, like memberships. People sign up in January, it's really busy in January in the gyms, and then February onwards it starts getting quieter and quieter until maybe holiday season, where people go back again and go for a few weeks and then don't go after that. So the key thing to get across is you're not going to make that mistake. You are going to be consistent in order to achieve your goals, and that's where personal training or some kind of accountability can really help to keep you on track and make sure that you are being consistent, and then you are more likely to achieve your goals by consistently putting in the effort and the action points that you need to do to achieve it. So hopefully that helps, gives you a little bit of a kick up the bum if you've dropped off in the past week or so, or if you haven't started yet, then you just now know that you're going to need to start, and then you're going to need to keep going, which I think we all kind of know, but this is just a bit more of a motivational kick up the bum for you to get back and to keep with it. It's not always going to be easy, but it is really simple, and I'm always happy to help. If you need to ask any questions, or you'd like any extra help, please do get in touch. I'll be back next week with some more top tips for you.